It has been 5 years since our financial near meltdown. The national economy has managed to recover. It doesn't quite feel like it's a full recovery. We're still kind of walking around like, okay, the shopping malls seem to be full, the restaurants seem to be full, but yet we're still hearing sort of dismal news in the economy. Maryland's job performance. Now, Maryland has actually managed to recover all of the jobs that they've lost since the recession. 100% of all the jobs that were lost in the recession, Maryland recovered, and that certainly is good. In fact, it is only one of 16 states as of August to have gained back all of its jobs during the recessions. In spite of all the nervousness exhibited by the consumer confidence, consumers are out there spending like crazy. I mean, you go to a shopping mall, you cannot find a parking space. You look at Amazon's expansion plans, recently proposing to build a million square foot facility here in Baltimore. People are spending money. Somebody's got some money. So consumers are still spending money. They're perhaps not spending as much money as they had in the past, but nevertheless, the fear of a government shutdown, the fear of the economy going south, has not really dampened expenditures by consumers. It's perhaps slowed them down a little bit, but not terribly too much. So the government shutdown impact, another manufactured crisis, 2 weeks, probably adversely affecting more Maryland and Virginia and D.C. than, say, other states like Ohio or Texas, given sort of that we have a disproportionate amount of our workforce associated with the federal government. In Maryland, it's about 5.7% of the total workforce is directly employed by the federal government. You throw in another couple of people on top of each federal worker as federal contractors, it is a significant amount of federal dollars that flow into Maryland as wages and salaries in Maryland, as well as D.C. Again, many of the hotels saw a huge amount of cancellations as many of the federal facilities were closed and museums were closed. So, it did adversely impact this region. There's been numerous estimates, and I know I've been partaking of that, but we've kind of had some numbers throwing around. $5 million in state revenue lost for each shutdown day. 90,000 federal workers in the state and about 180,000 federal contractors. We figure somewhere between 18 million and 68 million in lost wages. So we had about a 2-week shutdown, which is about a loss of about $145 million in impacting business across Maryland. Well, one of the things about the shutdown is while the federal employees got their back pay, those that were considered to be essential as well as non-essential, it's key to remember that many of the small businesses lost that 2 weeks of revenue. They never saw, they will not get that 2 weeks back. People aren't going to increase their lunch. They're not going to buy 2 lunches now for the next 2 weeks to make up for the lost lunch. So we're projecting about a 2.4% growth in 2014, and we're kind of optimistic in 2015 and 2016 at 2.8% for a total employment of 3.2 million by 2016.